Hello and welcome, everybody. They actually updated the slide. Actually, I wasn't supposed to be here. The talk about what could possibly go wrong would actually already start with a big mistake because our VP of Marketing, Thomas Peham, should have been taking my part. And the fun thing is, he's actually got stuck in Mallorca with his little one, Venerics actually. So, Thomas, when you look at this, hope you will be fine. I'm super happy to be here. My name is Dominik Angerer. I'm one of the two founders of Storyblok and the current CEO. And with me, I got Lydia.
Hello, I'm also very happy to be here.
So today, we're going to share you a story of how we scaled Storyblok from 2 people to 200, completely globally in a remote-first culture, and from 0 to actually by now 80,600 customers, also distributed worldwide. So how did we do that? Or how did we get started? Back in 2019, and I'm sorry for this picture, it was Thomas who basically picked it up. It was like the very first picture that we have taken of Storyblok. You can see my co-founder Alex right there. We tried to build a content management solution that works for everybody. So a headless CMS that we really can push forward in all digital areas, in all sectors, all industries. And we knew exactly what we wanted to do. We wanted to build a solution that works for developers and marketers alike globally. The thing is, we were 2 people, and we bootstrapped the company to 1 million in ARR completely on the self-service side. So we had developers and teams just swipe their credit card and like the product so much, so they actually wanted to stay with us. And we scaled it until like 2019 to the 1 million ARR mark, when we decided, okay, we need to get one more step further because customers of ours got bigger and bigger and bigger. And we decided to do that with hiring a great leadership team. And to be honest, the best option to do that is to just get started finding those people. Right, Lydia?
Yeah, totally correct. So we had a great product, and we knew we also need a great team to fulfill our vision. How did we do that? So a lot of people told me, you won't find talents, you won't find good talents in Austria, not enough talent to really grow a big business. So we then said, okay, we will definitely not focus only hiring in Austria. We would like to have a more global approach, and that's why we introduced a recruiting strategy that allows us to recruit remotely and globally. Therefore, we also introduced a task that every applicant has to do that shows us how do people work with written tasks, how do they show us the expertise, and which knowledge do they bring on the table. Also, when we started hiring, we knew, okay, we have to bring up some procedures with basic personnel management. And we had to think, okay, if we want to hire really globally, how do we bring the equipment to them and how do we onboard them? And the biggest challenge was really to deliver the equipment to the people. So you see here Crystal. Crystal lives in Chile and she never received her t-shirt. I tried it 3 times, but it always got lost. So we had to find solutions for all of these problems. Furthermore, we needed to understand, okay, how do we gonna make money to keep our good team and even grow further?
Yeah, so how do we make money? To basically send another t-shirt to Crystal over to Chile. Believe me, we still keep trying. It will get there one day. But the thing we wanted to do is we wanted to go from this purely self-service side into enterprise. So why did we want to do that? More and more customers of ours tend to be more on the 6 figures, 7 figures kind of deal size per year. And for us, we realized that this is actually the way forward. We still wanted to support the self-service side, but we wanted to go even further. So we didn't have a sales team. So the first thing we had to do is we had to find a leader that can actually build that. So we looked into similar companies to us, B2B software companies, B2B SaaS. So we found our VP of Sales, Sasha Blupst, who is also at our booth from Salesforce, that actually helps us scale the team. we hired our first key employees exactly in those areas. So Sasha in sales, we hired an actual partner for us for the VP of partners, which is our general sales approach, where we have agencies globally that help us acquire those customers. And we needed to find a VP of partners that knows how to scale B2B software. Because Alexander and myself, we were both developers. So we just had like this only pure product-led kind of growth setting going on. And we needed people that have really experience in those fields and help us scale there. So we did exactly that. We tried to find those like key persons for the beginning. We didn't hire like the people that operate, but really the leaders first. So leaders first kind of approach to hiring. And we spent quite a few bucks testing different kind of channels, be it LinkedIn, Twitter, and so on. And we realized, hey, our LTV actually will move to way higher. And even now, it's way beyond the 100K. So definitely something to look into. If you're a self-service company right now, enterprise speed actually might look better to you, depending on how good you can scale your sales team. And the fun thing is, we scaled the company to 6 times the ARR that we had before in just a year. We scaled the team to allow us to have a 60-40 split between self-service and enterprise, where enterprise actually takes up the 60% of the split of our revenue, and only 40% was only on self-service. And for us, this going into this enterprise section was purely done from the inbound side. So we optimized on the SEO part. We started doing outbound, including some account-based marketing. We highly invested into a partnership channel because we were able to acquire so many partners. And we pushed it still on the self-service side, because every kind of marketing you do will also influence the self-service sites to a certain extent. So we're ready to scale now, right? Like we know what we do, right?
Yeah, at that time we were nearly ready to scale. So like you can imagine, when you start with 10 people, the processes look much different compared to 100 people. So like I said, we introduced basic personal management procedures. We used a CRM for that. And we really quickly saw, okay, a CRM is not the HRS tool. So we really should invest into a very good HRS tool which fits our needs. Also, we created a 4-week onboarding journey with our wiki page. And suddenly we had 100 wiki pages more. And you also can see that's not really scalable. That's why we decided also to invest into an onboarding and learning platform that allows us to create a 4-week onboarding to help people get trained, ramp them up quickly, and also welcome them to the company. Also, what was always number one for us was the culture. A lot of time people tell me, you cannot build a culture in a fully remote team. Yes, you can. I definitely can say that. How did we do that? We listen to our employees. We are interested. Where do they come from? What is their background? What are their traditions? We give them a voice, so everyone is part of our story and can tell their opinion, tell us what they would do better or different maybe. And one of the biggest things is trust. Never micromanage, especially in fully remote, you're not possible or able to micromanage your team. So we trust that we have hired great people and we have a really amazing team. So Dominik, how much did you trust Thomas when you hired him?
So when I hired Thomas, we didn't have any plan of marketing. I was doing technical SEO for quite a while, but I've never touched paid advertisement before. I have never touched proper outbound strategies. I've never touched any kind of gated content before. But here there was Thomas, an expert in his field. He was managing 7-8 figures of ad spend for companies a month before that, before joining Storyblok. And I trusted him quite a bit, to be honest, because you know, when you hire an expert, you realize that you don't know anything, literally anything. So Thomas came to me, so okay, we have two options. Either we start tracking everything from end to end, and it will take us half a year just to set up the tracking, and then we don't even know if the tracking that we set up is right. So let's see that we can actually track the last point of the thing, so the last touch point, that we have all the metrics of this last step of the customer journey tracked, so we know when they convert and we know when we make money, when we spend money. but we don't know if they might inflict indirect kind of customer subscriptions on the self-service side, and we might not even know if it gets paid off in the beginning. And Thomas mentioned that, Dominik, do you want to go fast or do you want to go slow? And I was like, Thomas, that's not a question to ask. Of course we want to go fast, right? We just got new funding in, so why not? And believe me, like, it was a longer discussion. He actually convinced me to try it. And I trusted him. And the fun thing is we scaled from a couple of hundreds of leads a month to multiple thousands a month, just with starting spending money with the last part of the complete tracking done, only the last part, not the whole end-to-end tracking being set up. And now after just 2 years of Thomas being in Storyblok, we now have that. We do have that end-to-end tracking, but you don't have to start with, but you need to trust and hire people that know what they're doing. So if you allow them to use the budget as they are already used to do, because they actually know what they're doing, and especially in a remote setup, this is even more important, then you can actually do that. You know, like Thomas would have told you a lot about cost per click stuff and how you can optimize that. And there will be an article followed by Thomas later on where he describes it in more depth and how we started doing that. But the most important thing for you to get off of those slides is if you have a marketing team and you don't know what they're doing, but you see results that have a larger LTV to CAC that allows you to scale in a profitable way, it might be okay for them to not track a complete journey end to end, because they focus on the one part of making money, which is like the last touch point of the customers. And I mean, there's a lot of things going on, right? We basically had to build so many different streams from the self-service side to the enterprise side that we had also to scale the team drastically. And the only way we were seeing that going forward is by scaling it in a complete remote kind of setup. So Storyblok is a remote-first company. Even before the pandemic, we scaled to 200 people over the last couple of years across 45 different countries. And this only works if you hire excellent people and find those excellent people. And even with you, Lydia, we found like really, really amazing people.
Yeah, and the scaling phase was really a very, very exciting and also a little bit exhausting phase, because we onboarded 71 people with just one FTE. And we also established a transparent documentation and asynchronous communication, what you need in a fully remote setup. We still work with 91% of our team members that we hired, and we were luckily able to double down on the product features for our enterprise customers. We still work with all our enterprise customers, and we were very happy to have them. And the Series B allowed us to even focus more on globalization right now. So where are we right now? We are right now 219 people in more than 40 countries. And I can tell you, I have learned quite a lot in these 2 years. I also learned that you always have to redesign your processes, move quickly, and there's always a way to tackle a challenge. For example, in Austria, we don't have ACH payment. So I didn't really know what I should do if no Austrian bank offers me ACH payments. So I tried to find an online bank that allows an Austrian company to do ACH payments. Sounds very easy. Maybe you don't believe me, but it was not that easy. But we solved it also. Also, I have seen that you're sometimes so much into work, and the scale-up and startup has a limitation of time. So I also introduced a Focus Friday, where I really take my time, focus on my key objectives, and also rethink the procedures. At the beginning, sometimes I thought a little bit too small, and I just want to encourage you, always think about the bigger picture, not only how you survive the next 1 or 2 months. So that helped me quite a lot. So what was the bigger picture of Thomas?
So Thomas told me in the beginning, like, we have inbound already. Like the customers of ours, the developers of ours, they really like the product and they want to scale. But one thing we never touched was account-based marketing and the outbound channel. So Thomas pitched me this idea of this, like mostly external agency actually being in-house inside Storyblok, where every other department can basically jump in and get something, either on the inbound side when it's about events, PR, and all those things, or from the outside when we want to have proper nurturing strategy, when we want to have any kind of conversion tracking and a proper channel. And Thomas pitched the idea quite nice, to be honest, and good thing I trusted him, because one thing he mentioned many times is trust the instinct, Dominik. You hired experts, they pitched you a really nice idea, so why not do that? And to be honest, we have a random channel where we basically also share all the things, being us on the New York Stock Exchange display or anything surrounding that. And it helped us trust our instincts actually quite a lot. Yeah.
And also really take decisions. So one of our 3 takeaways was trust your instincts, take decisions even though you might not have the data at the beginning, but the data will come in the future. Please set a clear vision and transparent goals that you share with your team, because they will challenge you on these goals and vision, and you will improve yourself even. And the ARR is very important for us. However, not the only metric we look at. Also, the customer satisfaction and employee satisfaction is very important for us to stay on a sustainable growth.